Hello and welcome back to Banjo-Kazooie. I'm trying to do a Dracula thing. We're in the
Well,
spooky
it's
level.
failing, I think.
We're in the spooky level right now. This is Mad Monster Mansion. Always creeped the shit out of me as a kid. Kind of similar to Big Boo's Haunt in Mario 64. Apologies for front-loading this part with all this kind of anecdotal information. My Dracula impression kind of threw me off as well. But what can you guys think of in terms of like spooky levels in video games that you could maybe compare this to? I know you haven't played it, but LP lore dictates that I have to throw stuff over to you to get your opinion.
I think, off the top of my head, this instantly reminds me of Castlevania 64, actually. You're going around a kind of, castle kind of thing. Hell, there's a ton of mansions, like I've said before, that are spooky in all sorts of video games. We got the Resident Evil mansion, we got the Five Nights at Stranger, mansion. It's just a staple for the horror genre, really. I am finished with my anecdote. You may continue, Richie.
I'm just out here thinking, I just can't really think of any, but that's generally because I don't play games that have much of a Halloween bent to them. I mean, I suppose, that one that's in Sonic Heroes.
Mystic Mansion?
Yeah, I think it's that one. Oh, and also Pumpkin Hill.
And Hand Castle, also in Heroes.
Hand Castle, yes.
Uh-huh.
And obviously, Nightmare Before Christmas Land in Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, wait for this. You guys know the story behind that, right?
No?
Well, that's Grant Kirkhope doing the thank you, and he was originally asked by Nintendo multiple times, as you would know if you watched him on Guest Grumps over on Game Grumps, that Nintendo wanted him to change it because they thought he was saying fuck you. Kind of boggles the mind, really, but Nintendo back in the day, to give them the benefit of the doubt, was much more like censorship heavy than they are today.
Well, I mean, that said, you've got to be quite careful considering this is a kid's game and it does sound remarkably similar to Fuck You. So it's just a little bit of, got to be careful there because you don't want that coming up in your game that you want to be rated like E for everyone or whatever.
I guess.
We are recording this fairly close to Halloween. I gotta say, I love this time of year when the Mad Monster Mansion cereals come out. I love Banjo-Berry, Kazooie Crunch is okay. I'm not sure about Grunty Flakes because I think we all know where Grunty's Flakes come from, but other than that, great time of
year. You've been preparing that just for this commentary session, haven't you?
I have. I rehearsed this in the bathroom.
Good stuff. That's where I get all my ideas for Let's Plays. Get it? 'Cause they're all shit.
Oh, you were making a shit reference, okay.
This church that we're passing by now is actually based on the real church in Twycross, which is where Rare was based back in the day, and I'm pretty sure they're still based there.
They definitely are still based in Twycross, yeah.
Now, every spooky mansion needs a hedge maze, of course, and of course I instantly remember another Nintendo game that has to do with a mansion, Luigi's Mansion.
Yes!
Mm-hmm.
Fucking love Luigi's Mansion. I don't know what it is about it. Maybe it's like just nostalgia, because it was like basically the first game I played on the GameCube, and it was in Japanese as well. I was lucky enough to have a GameCube back in the day which had a little switch on the back, a flip switch. It was like a Japanese and American one, and like if you flipped it up it was like NTSC, if you flipped it down it was Japanese. So I played Luigi's Mansion in Japanese and had no fucking clue what was going on.
Oh wow.
So where was the Switch that put more games on the GameCube? Did you find that one?
Well, it was expensive enough as is. It was about... I can't even remember. It was definitely like in the upper triple digits.
Oh my goodness.
So, Halloween and just like spooky level tropes. What do we think is required to make a scary level? Is it atmosphere? Is it tough enemies? Survival horror, basically. Not really appropriate for, like, cartoony platforming, but I just want to hear your guys' opinion, because, as I mentioned in a previous part, this is, geographically, got it right this time, the biggest level in the game, or at least, that's what the Banjo Wikia says, and they're never wrong. Lorenzo Music. So, how do you guys like your horror? We can talk about moves and whatnot as well, if you like. Helldragon, let's start with you.
I think what's important for if you're making, again, it really does depend on the tone, and yes, he's about to flush himself down the commode, thank you. It really depends on the game. Like I said, if you're really making a survival horror, I think the best thing to kind of do when you want to make that horror atmosphere is you want to have a sense of powerlessness. Like you should, have a tough time or have limited resources in dealing with enemies. It shouldn't be like with like control schemes. It should just be, within the gameplay itself. Less jump scares, more about building that sense of dread. Like, mansions work really well for these kind of games because you can build it up over time, that prevailing sense that something is in there and it's coming to get you. Clock Tower in particular was a really good example of this, and that's why I fucking shit myself whenever I look at Clock Tower, because that does a really good job in making me not want to go to sleep ever again. So
seriously, I was scared of scissors for like years after I saw that game for the first time. No, I'm just kidding. What about you, Richard?
I think it is all about the atmosphere, and it depends kind of the level tropes, I suppose, because if you go for the mansion, having the organ music, having ghosts and zombies and all of that, then it all kind of ends up working to create that horror / Halloween-y style level atmosphere. And it does work quite effectively. I'm not generally a fan of it, but that's just because I don't like Halloween.
Oh,
so
okay. Well, I thought you were saying you don't like being scared. Halloween's fucking awesome. You watch cool movies, you have lots of candy.
Yeah, we had a bunch of kids being assholes when I was younger, so that was not a fun time, and basically it's stuck ever since. That said, I also don't like being scared, so I don't watch horror films, so...
I was terrified you were going to follow that up with, I also don't like Christmas, also I'm the Grinch.
I just don't like most things, really.
You may have seen a picture of a pirate about the mansion. I think... No, it's not in this room. It may be in some other ones. Definitely in, like, the chapel and whatnot.
We saw it a little bit ago. It was in one of the rooms in the mansion.
That is actually a picture of Captain Blackeye, I believe, who was supposed to be the original villain for Project Dream before it became Banjo-Kazooie. And fun fact, to borrow a term off Richie, Captain Blackeye actually turns up in Jolly Roger Bay or Lagoon or whatever it's called in Banjo-Tooie. He's meant to be drunk. They depict him as being seasick. Yeah, he's kind of mad at Banjo and Kazooie for stealing his stardom, I guess. I always just enjoyed taking the money he gave me to buy medicine and spending it in the shop, really. Jealousy never pays, kids.
Well, of course you would find a skull in the fireplace. Makes sense.
Very spooky. Don't touch the floor while you're in here, by the way. So I was just thinking of something to say. The ghosts were scaring me. Because if you touch the floor, if you come in through the front door... Oh god, I'm catching Gruntilda's rhyming stuff. Nappa here will wake up, and you cannot go inside him to get the jiggy while he's awake.
So, it doesn't matter whether or not you have protection when you go inside him?
No. Thank you, Hell Dragon. This part is fucking ruined! Don't mind me, just gonna trample all over the furniture. I'm a very passive-aggressive kind of video game protagonist. Fuck the table, in particular, and as for the door... Oh, don't even get me started on the door.
I did briefly think, though, when you mentioned, oh, well, don't come in, don't touch the floor. I thought it was like the floor is lava situation, like you always used to play as a kid, because those games were fun. Like, brief anecdote, my friend used to have a really cool backyard next door where I used to live as a kid, and we would just kind of crawl over the fence, crawl over, like, the shed, the tools, like the tree, house area he had gathered over there. It was probably the best game of The Ground is Lava I've ever played.
Oh, here's one of my favourite NPCs in the game. Tumblr. He's a tumbler.
Wow.
Just another one of these spell Banjo-Kazooie things. Man, they must have a serious trademark going on. Raking in them royalties.
I'm kind of surprised that Nintendo allowed the use of a tumbler in this game.
It's a fucking Ouija board.
That's true, it's also a Ouija board, exactly.
That's just a tee-hee going around the board. The only purple variety in the game, I believe. Don't quote me on that. He doesn't really do anything special apart from, like, going a circuit.
So I suppose with this Ouija board, I should probably ask, does anybody here believe in ghosts?
Hell Dragon, maybe you should go first.
Well, I got my standard philosophy. You have to be some kind of fool to think we're all alone in this universe, so you know what? Maybe ghosts really do exist.
What about you, Richie? I'm still preparing this skepticism canon.
Well, considering the stuff that has happened in my life and with my family and stuff, I would say yes, I do believe in ghosts. I think I may have brought it up during the Luigi's Mansion 2 playthrough at some point. I know I've spoken about it many times.
Well, that was years ago, mate, so feel free to reuse that commentary.
So basically, I think when I was younger, I used to keep seeing a woman standing across the road that just wasn't there. My sister, was always didn't want to go downstairs after having a bath, and she said because the naughty man was at the bottom of the stairs. And my mum eventually found out that the guy who had previously lived in the house had died in the hallway.
Ah, yeah, I'm remembering that now.
Yeah, so eventually they kind of blessed the house, and it was just like, okay, it's all fine now, and it was never mentioned again for years. But we've also had other weird things going on, because my cousin's bedroom was where an old nunnery was, and he used to see nuns kind of when he was in bed.
Oh, fuck that noise.
Yeah, and then my other cousin, his sister, somehow knew the name and location of where a person lived that she'd never heard of before and had never met, and was able to point her out in a picture despite knowing nothing about this person.
Huh. Well, I was actually going to come into this part with, scary stories to tell in the dark and whatnot, but I don't think I'm going to top that.
Nothing is scarier than real life, Tom. You should know that by now.
A man sits alone in the room. Responsibility knocks. The end.
Wow, that is terrifying. Work in a shop. No, I don't want to. Work in a shop.
Scary tales of retail.
But, Richie, I have to say, my mother actually seriously believes in the supernatural, and honestly, that sounds like a house I would move the fuck out of promptly if that kind of shit was happening, because, again, I'm not entirely sure about ghosts, but at the same time, if fucking kooky shit was happening, yeah, I'm gone. Nuh-uh, I don't care.
I mean, thankfully, the ghost didn't really do anything, he just sort of stood at the bottom of the stairs, and...
Maybe he's just lost, did you consider that?
I don't know.
Where was the kitchen? It's been a bit.
Around here somewhere. God, if only I wasn't cursed to stand in the hallway all the time. You better book it back to that church. These traders don't last long and that door doesn't stay open for a while. Going. Safe!
Oof. They really don't give you a lot of time there.
No. This place, above all others in Mad Monster Mansion, scared the crap out of me as a kid. I am actually still partially afraid of churches, mostly due to organ music and such.
Yeah, organ music's got a particular sound to it that is just... It really puts you on edge. I think it's because it is generally quite loud.
Yeah.
And it has... I guess because it's been used in so many Halloween things and so many horror films and in creepy abandoned churches and with Dracula and villains, it just sort of has gotten that meaning attached to it, really.
I think it's just meant to humble you, because it's so loud. You're meant to get on your knees and praise Jesus.
I'm not sure about organ music in particular being kind of scary. I'm trying to think of the music I find the most frightening. It's not like organ music, but it's it's mostly atmospheric, I would think. I'm trying to think of some particular examples. And maybe you guys can list some things while I'm trying to pontificate what I'm trying to express here.
The opening to Are You Afraid of the Dark?
I don't know about that. I guess I'll express this. I think a really creepy thing is, when you see nothing, but all you hear is rushing wind, nothing is there. That's kind of fucked up.
So ambient creepy noise.
Something like that, yeah. The sense that there is nothing. It's just blasted, gone, wiped out. That kind of shit, that really kind of reminds one of one's own mortality, you know what I'm saying?
We're just discussing, horror in general in this part, I guess.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, everybody has things that make them scared, I think probably the thing I'm scared of the most is zombies, and this is because if you've ever seen Heavy Metal, you'll know what I mean. That is the film that I'm like, okay, I never want to do anything with zombies ever.
This is Moat's hand. He is a ghost hand. He likes music, obviously based on Mozart. Rare aren't exactly subtle when it comes to naming things in their games.
Didn't we fight that in Smash?
I thought they were referencing Chopin.
No, this is not Master Hand, not Chopin either. Oh, Chopin? Is that what you were trying to say?
Well, it's Chopin, but Chopin would have been a pretty damn good pun for them to go with.
Speaking of Mozart, who was the guy that was like his rival or something? I'm trying to remember his name. It wasn't Asmodeus, was it?
I think you mean Amadeus, though.
Amadeus. Well, he had some sort of musical rival of sorts that actually made good compositions, but he never really got famous. I don't know if I'm thinking of the right guy at all, to be honest with you.
I wonder if you're thinking of Mozart's middle name, because his full name is Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart.
Yeah, that's probably where I'm mixing it up, but I know there was some other guy. But anyway.
We do Let's Plays, we're not learning, guys. Well, Richie is, we're not.
Yeah, now face off against my brother, Crazy Mozart Hand.
The keys just go wild. Okay, let's head up to the pipes. I'm not sure if that's an actual song on those musical sheets. It'd be crazy if it was.
It'd be pretty cool if it was, to be honest.
And the music here just kind of really reminds me a lot of Castlevania. They love using their organ music for all the various areas. That series really isn't that scary, though, because you're very powerful in that game.
Spooky scary skeleton comes out and throws bones.
So if we wanted to go back to that whole scary music thing, I think the worst, well, the most scary music that generally sets you the most on edge is stuff with, like, the really screeching strings.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like, I know Clock Tower in particular pulls some of that kind of shit on you.
That's kind of like a subset of the jump scare, really, which is my least liked thing when it comes to horror. Stop fucking doing it!
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the jump scares either.
Don't ever expect, like, Five Nights at Freddy's on here. My heart literally cannot stand up to it.
Well, yeah, but the thing is if you were doing a playthrough of Five Nights at Freddy's, because it would be a perfect run, you would never see a single jump scare.
That's true, yeah.
No, but you're forgetting, in terms of post-playthroughs, when it comes to getting a semi-perfect run,
Yeah.
I would have to go through multiple takes.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Let's get the hell out of here. Thankfully, we don't have to come back now that we've got the Jiggy, all the notes, the good tilde switch, and that empty honeycomb segment. Man, they put a lot of stuff in the church. And a little sealing spell, we're good.
God is not wanting to talk with you, young man. I think he's done.
I think they kind of missed a trick in not putting the names of rare employees on the tombstones.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Well, I mean, I guess maybe it would have been a little too much space that they didn't really have to play with.
Yeah, speaking of, actually, Mad Monster Mansion is one out of, I believe, 3 worlds in the game where a small spring jump pad can be found, the other 2 being Treasure Trove Cove and Click-Clock Wood, which is the last level of the game. They were reduced to, obviously, save space. There were space restrictions.
I mean, I assume what they've done here is that they've just copy-pasted the gravestone. So trying to do a separate model, basically, for each one would have been quite the effort.
Got a great view of the whole level here. A bit of a slow start so far, but this is like the most slow-paced level in the game, I think, unless we're counting the next one, although that one's much more dangerous, so I guess the adrenaline will kick in, and it'll be like we're recording in Sonic speed.
Well, hopefully not at Sonic speed, because, I mean, Sonic's had a bit of a rough time the past few years.
I guess. Man, 2015 has not been good for Sonic.
No, it hasn't. I mean, it's been pretty crap for platformers in general, really. I mean, apart from the fact that Ukulele got announced and got kickstarted, it's pretty much had nothing else.
Yeah, because nobody's talking about Mighty Number 9, are we?
Oh, we are, but the words are not favourable. He's an pumpkin!
That is... Somebody needs to do that for Halloween. They need to put little pants on a pumpkin and get mad whenever nobody gets the reference.
Just like throw it at Rare's building or something. You used to be great! You used to be great! The scariest thing of all, reality.
So, why the hell are you a pumpkin? What is this going to accomplish exactly? Is it going to make more pumpkin spice stuff? Because I see that everywhere as of this recording.
Well, the pumpkin is obviously very small and has a kind of circular bottom to it, so we can get into places that Banjo and Kazooie cannot. For example, Logo. But first we actually need to get up to, I think it's the second floor of the mansion, and in order to do that we need to ride on top of the thorn bushes. Sadly, I could not find the entrance here, but I was doing so well. This was by far my best take of this, because again, you know, geographically the biggest level in the game, most confusing, most complex. I just left it in, because it didn't really take that long overall. There's a hole here somewhere, if I can just find it.
I see Jill Valentine, what's going on?
You know how you said it'd be quite fun if someone stuck some trousers on, well, pants on a pumpkin? That someone did actually make a real-life pumpkin banjo.
Really?
Yes, it's on, you can find it on Google, the knitted or crocheted, the kind of pants, and a little backpack as well.
Aww.
Does he have the googly eyes?
Yes, well, it's not googly eyes, but it is sort of stuck-on eyes.
Well, you know what I mean.
Well, no, they should have gone with the googly eyes, and I think there's another one. No, that doesn't have googly eyes either. God's sake, guys, making these banjo pumpkins. Go with the googly eyes.
Yeah, to hell with you, you talented people. Do what we want.
Yeah, it's really sad that we have to pine for accuracy in our cartoon pumpkin wearing pants.
Alright, it's time to, well, I guess someone's got to do the dirty work here, so down we go. Oh, and the flushing sound and everything.
Oh, we're going to see the Great Mighty Pooh down here.
Oh, we're going to see a bunch of Great Mighty Poos.
Welcome to Shit Mountain.
Let's just get out of here while I still have sanity.
Would be a good idea, yeah.
Well, it gets even scarier when you realise this is Gruntilda's summer house, so... yeah, draw your own conclusions. I don't have hands, but a quick swim in the sink will cure what ails me.
Sure, you basically splash for 10 seconds, it's fine. It's the 10-second rule, you see.
The 10-second rule is bullshit.
Yeah, bullshit is what we just swam through, dude.
It's true.
I suppose I should talk a little bit about the lore of Banjo-Kazooie. In, I guess you could call it the dining room where Nappa was, there's pictures on the walls. And obviously there's Bruntilda, since Bruntilda is Gruntilda's sister. There's a picture of Mumbo Jumbo, because Mumbo was actually Gruntilda's teacher back in the day, and Gruntilda is the one who cursed him with that skull head. It's like poetry, it rhymes.
Oh, so they got a Skeletor thing going on then.
You're gonna have to remind me what happened to Skeletor.
Well, Skeletor had his flesh melted off on his face, that's why he has a skull, but the rest of him is not a skeleton.
Well, did He-Man do that?
No, it wasn't He-Man. I think it was Skeletor's old master. I'm trying to remember, even though I haven't really watched He-Man, the Masters of the Universe, but all the same, I'm gonna assume that Skeletor and Mumble should get like a drink together sometime, because clearly they have common ground.
Well, Mumbo don't really approve of the black/dark arts, that's why he stopped teaching Gruntilda.
Does Skeletor use magic a lot? Well, I know he's got a sword sometimes. I don't remember.
He has sonic powers. Nah!
Yeah.
It's only right that in this, the Halloween-themed level, the pumpkin is the one to achieve 100% for us. Beautiful. We have a lot of setup to do for the next level, so I hope you'll bear with us.
No, I saw that. I heard that, what you did. It's very relevant, and I saw what you did there.
Wait, what was that?
Bear with us. I'm surprised you didn't catch that.
There's something I need to address here, right? Sometimes I just rhyme. I don't mean to, I do it all the time. That one was, you know, on purpose.
Sure it was.
I make puns sometimes when I don't mean to, and because I have made puns throughout my Let's Play career, for lack of a better term, people think I'm making fucking puns all the time.
Well, really, when we did the whole business with Luxord, you really kind of just behaved yourself into that problem, so I don't know what to tell you, dude.
Yeah. You will need to have taken out this gate beforehand. Luckily, you had a little bit of an exploring session around the hub area. And this is why we needed the pumpkin.
I'm really loving the organ rendition of the teddy bear's picnic there.
Yeah, Grant don't give a shit. He'll put organs in, electric guitars. I may have mentioned this earlier, but he used to be in a metal band.
That is cool.
Yeah? Fucking Tee-hee. What kind of name is Tee-hee for a ghost?
Oh no, it sounds silly.
I'd say it goes hand in hand with the da-da-da-da puppy power sound effect.
Okay, it's suitably scary. It's thematically appropriate for Mad Monster Mansion. For sure.
Well, yeah, surprisingly, considering the whole Scooby-Doo franchise is about finding ghosts.
Helldragon. Best Scooby-Doo movie. I asked you last time. Maybe give me the runner-up this time.
I don't even remember what the best Scooby-Doo movie was last time that I said.
You said Ghoul School last time.
I said I liked it. I didn't say it was good.
Well, runner-up.
I'd have to say the runner-up one I really liked. Witch's Ghost, I think, was pretty okay. Even though, as a whole, I'm not a fan of the whole, supernatural shit is real in Scooby-Doo. I was never a fan of that. But Tim Curry, of course, does a good job as Ben Ravencroft, or whatever the fuck his last name was, so...
And he fucking hams it up, because he's Tim Curry.
Yeah, Tim Curry always hams it up, no matter what.
I was actually watching Gargoyles all day today, mostly because I had nothing to do until comms started. But, no, I'm kidding, I was rendering Super Mario Maker stuff. That'll be, going up at the end of November. And, Tim Curry is in that. He plays Anton Severius, the mad scientist.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Be very careful here. The pumpkin is very bouncy, so be careful not to go flying off this little bridge here.
Yeah, you wouldn't exactly want burnt pumpkin soup.
Then it would be a ghost pumpkin soup.
Oh, good. Excellent burn there, Gruntilda. Next thing you know, she's gonna call him a poopy head. Although he did just walk through shit, so...
Don't worry, Brentilda does know. I don't know why I keep saying don't worry. It's not like anything bad's going to happen if you don't follow this Let's Play. Or will it? Brentilda knows who we are, no matter what form we take.
Well, I think the pants sort of give it away, don't they?
And the backpack.
That's true.
I'd say the backpack gives it away more so than the pants.
Ah!
Oh.
Oof. This is torture. Ray, you're a horrible, horrible, wonderful development team.
Well, this is the horror-themed area, so of course they'd save that for this.
Give me good spells. I could just listen to Gruntilda rhyme all day, honestly.
Oh, there's a typo. There was a typo.
What's the typo?
So they said, than Cheeto will burn, or what have you. It should have been, then Cheeto I will burn.
You've been fucking told, Rare. Consider yourself told.
I seem to recall reading this. You can't just use the cheats, like the names of the cheats right away. You have to actually find the Cheeto book it corresponds to, am I right?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Okay.
Also, just to clarify something that I think I mentioned back in the Bubbled Loop Swamp episode, I was telling you about cheats and how Gruntilda can erase your save file and the like.
Mm-hmm.
The stuff you get from Cheeto, that's legit. You don't have to worry about that at all. Gruntilda won't do anything. She'll complain, but that's just a cherry on top of the cake, really. Stuff like open this level, open that level. Yeah, Gruntilda will eventually get sick of your bullshit and just erase your memory. Quite literally.
Sorry, I forgot what we were just talking about there.
Cheats, Richie. We were talking about cheats.
Were we? Oh.
Oh, I see what you're doing. Okay, so Mewtwo Strikes Back scenario. We should really get back to movie comms, Heldrone.
Maybe. I don't know yet.
I like how your response to, should we do work? Maybe.
Well, I'm always kind of with work in general, really. I don't believe in unnecessary work, to be honest with you.
That is the scariest thing of all.
Productivity is weird.
So, where are we heading next?
Gruntilda's head.
Fair enough.
We basically have to repeat what we did for the Freeze Easy Peak Gruntilda's Jiggy and activate the flight pan, and then we can fly to the Gruntilda head in the main part of this bit of the hub and smash the eye, grab the Jiggy, and Bob's your uncle. We can move on.
Rightio.
My uncle's name is Rick.
And Ashy Helldragon. Always butting in with unnecessary information.
Well, I thought you wanted to know about me and my family.
True, I guess
I don't fucking care. Where did you get that idea?
Ow!
Nicely done.
Why did I connect my body to this gigantic stone monument of me? Not one of my better ideas. Gruntilda in a rare moment of sounding like me and also not rhyming. I don't think I've mentioned who voices like Banjo and Kazooie. That's Chris Sutherland. I don't know what his role in the game was exactly. Let me just go to my magic tome before Richie can find it, and I will tell you what role he had in Banjo-Kazooie's development.
Yeah, his book is called Look Up-O. No, it's called Google-O.
Christopher Paul Sutherland is an England football player who plays as a winger. I don't think that's the right guy, sir.
Well, I don't know, maybe he branched out for a little bit. Have you ever considered that?
Well, I think, from what I can see, if IMDb is telling me correct stuff, he was just the voice of Banjo and Kazooie.
Aww.
Though, that said, I mean, he's doing voices in Ukulele, but he's also classed as director of Ukulele and producer. I don't know whether that's quite correct, but still. Also, he performed the DK rap in Donkey Kong 64.
Oh my god, really? That guy?
Yeah, Grant wrote it, and Chris and another guy called George Andreas did the rapping parts. Take it to the fridge. Boy, I hope you like, water raising puzzles and such, because we're going to have to do a little bit of liquid manipulation before we get into Rusty Bucket Bay. This is actually the part of the playthrough where I start getting a little bit lost, because I remember this part of the game the absolute least. So, the finer intricacies of the hub kind of started to bewilder me a little bit. Like, you're supposed to smash that grating down there, but for whatever reason, the processes weren't whirring in my mind.
Now, something I should probably just point out now before anybody thinks we're complete nutters, Chris Sutherland's also one of the main programmers, well, was one of the main programmers at Rare, and he helps build all the tools behind, like, Donkey Kong Country and Banjo.
Oh, okay.
He's also an excellent public speaker, if you've ever seen him give interviews and the like.
Mm-hmm.
And he wears glasses, Helldragon, so you have something in common.
Oh, yeah, we'll have so much to talk about.
I'm all about superficial connections.
Also, he's a very lovely human being, and you all should really take the time to get to know him better.
Well, we've kick-started his project, so it's all good.
Rusty Shit Heat Bay.
It's a big fucking ship, yeah. Oh, the door to nightmares opens.
Isn't this one of the least popular levels in Banjo-Kazooie?
Saying something.
So basically it's the water temple of Banjo-Kazooie. In terms of how hated it is.
Gosh, this sounds like a thrilling adventure already. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, we've been through the actual scary level of the game, but, Rusty Bucket Bay, I believe, is one of the only levels in the game where you can drop and die. Like, drop into a bottomless pit and just go, die.
They have bottomless pits in this game?
Yeah, pretty rare, actually. In the second level or so of Mario 64, there was a bottomless pit.
Pretty rare, Tom.
Just give him, like, trick points every time he does a pun.
no idea what's through here, but for some reason I just thought, throw myself at it, I'll get through eventually. And it turns out it wasn't really anything.
That's what you get for exploring, Tom.
Yeah, I guess. Gonna be a bit of a crossfade here, because, I think? Oh, no, maybe that's later. God, this part of the game is really fucking me up!
So that was a map button, and it changes the area up.
It raises the water level.
Do the map buttons do anything else, or are they context-sensitive buttons?
They're specifically for raising the water level around the Rusty Bucket Bay area.
Then why is it called a map button? Why isn't it called the water button?
I don't know, I wasn't really paying attention to what was on the button because a massive timer appeared on screen. Also, it's not map, it's 3, 2, 1. Or whatever, you know, the water levels, you lovable goof.
Oh, I thought the thing froze for a minute there.
Yeah, it does that sometimes. Might as well show off what this animation looks like. Boo whip. And we come out here. Waste of time.
Well, I mean, it's helpful if you want to do a bit more exploring, I suppose.
Killing some time before we get to the next part. Seriously, there's just a little teeny bit of filler, but I don't think there's much at all between Rusty Bucket and Clink Lockwood, so thank heavens for small miracles, I guess. One more thing to show off in this part, and I believe this is where the crossfade comes in. We're going to go and see Cheeto for the last time.
For the last time?
For the last time.
Oh, well,
Yes, Cheeto, your days are numbered. We will be meeting for the last time.
Yes. After that, I will deliver you back to the library.
And I won't pay the fee at all. Yes, there's nothing you can do to stop my reign of terror.
Yeah, in the second game, I don't want to really spoil anything, but Gruntilda finds him and rips all his pages out and scatters them throughout the world.
Oh gosh, what a lovely lady.
Well, you know, after what happens to her at the end of this game and the amount of time she spends in that particular event, you would probably be really pissed at your spellbook as well.
it doesn't give that witch an excuse to be a bitch.
0 out of 10, Richard.
Yeah, that was pretty shit, wasn't it?
More words rhyme with witch than bitch. You can have sitch, you can have glitch, you can have... Oh, fuck it.
Mitch?
Just go with bitch. Gold feathers is very, very useful, especially in the final boss fight.
Did she just say she was gonna smack a bitch?
Oh yeah, she's keeping that witch's pimp hand strong. Lord guard my broom and keep it strong. Okay guys, we've come to level 8, Rusty Bucket Bay, so brace yourself, this is going to be a doozy. We'll see you next time. Bye bye for now.